We have head coach Susie Merchant, along with student athletes Sydney Cooks and Jenna Allen. A reminder to please silence your cell phones, and there is no flash photography permitted in the interview room. Once she arrives, we'll start with an opening statement from Coach Merchant before taking questions from the student athletes.
Well, obviously disappointed in losing, but give Notre Dame credit. I mean, I don't know if there's a more veteran team on the planet than them. They're coming off a national championship, and their power is hard to simulate. I thought our kids did a good job at times, but to be able to sustain the power to keep them off the boards or to get that stop, it was just difficult. But I thought the second half we settled in a little bit better and did some real positive things. I thought, Sid was a real bright spot, obviously, for us in both games. Jenna's been consistent, and then some of our other young kids came in and kind of sparked us.
Please raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question to the student athletes, and we'll get a microphone to you. Please remember to begin your question by providing your name and media affiliation.
John Finneran, Associated Press. Jenna, you played Jackie in high school, had pretty good success about it. What's the difference in her game now as compared to back then? She was a scorer back then, and now she's more versatile.
Yeah, I just think she's even more confident, In high school, I really don't remember her, ever pulling up and shooting the ball a lot, and she does that a lot more now. And her offensive rebounding, I think, is a piece in her game where she's really, really improved. Just all around a great player. It was awesome to play against her again. Sad about the outcome, but I'm just happy for her and the way she played.
Thanks. Sydney, talk a little bit about the front line of Turner and Shepard, how difficult they are to compete against.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they just know each other so well. And it's great to have that kind of connection when it's post to post. I think me and Jenna do that a lot as well. Just super athletic, and Shepard is just very strong. So big props to them. They're hard to guard.
Jenna, Pete Swanson, Danny Clary in Princeton, Indiana. What do you feel like Notre Dame did to break away after 3 ties in the first few minutes?
Couldn't keep them off the board, to be honest with you. We were trying to, get the misses and try to run, and I feel like a couple of times we were all just kind of taking off and not really getting to the boards, and they hurt us. So I feel like that's how they got away from us. And we missed shots in the first quarter too that we usually make.
Sam Britton, WDBM Sports. Jenna, this is your last time coming off the floor as a Michigan State Spartan. Take me through the emotions going through your mind when you're coming off the floor.
Sorry, I'm a very emotional person, and a lot of you know that. I'm just so grateful to have picked to come to this university and played in the Spartan uniform for the last 4 years, and I'm sad to go. But I know all my teammates are great people, and they work so hard, and they're going to do great things in life. So I'm just really sad right now, and but very grateful for the opportunity I had to be around great people for 4 years in a great city and a great fan. So it's just a very humbling experience, and I'm very blessed.
Jenna, can you describe just what you were able to do this season as the lone senior in this team to really help you guys kind of get back in the national spotlight here?
Yeah, I think after last season, not making the NCAA tournament, I feel like we all, had a goal of this is where we wanted to be, and I feel like everybody over the off season really worked hard. Especially me. I changed my diet. I lost a lot of weight. I got in the gym more. Tried to be the senior leader that I could to help this team get here. So I'm just really proud of my teammates for believing in me, and Coach Susie and all my coaches for just believing in me and helping me, achieve my dreams, and just working with me the past 4 years.
More questions for the student athletes? No? Okay. Thank you, Sydney and Jenna.
John Finneran, Associated Press. Talk a little bit about Jenna and the kind of kid she was.
She's gonna make me cry now. I think in coaching, you don't always have the complete package, you know. So many kids nowadays, when you get them coming in as freshmen, they don't know who they are, right? And they're not supposed to have all the answers when they're 18 years old, but what I'm talking about is like they really don't know who they are as a person and what the character inside them is. And Jenna had that. She had that old soul, that wisdom. She came from an amazing family that instilled that in her. Whether she played 3 minutes as a freshman or started every game and shot every single time, it wouldn't have mattered. She had made a commitment to Michigan State. She was all in. She knew who she was. She was a tremendous student in the classroom, an unbelievable ambassador to Michigan State, and a role model to so many young kids. And just one of the kindest hearted people you want to be around. I was so happy for her this year, like some of the success she had. I know she wished she would have been able to sustain it. You know, she had a couple lulls, but just to watch her come off the court so many times this year with that smile and that joy, knowing she left everything out there and the success that came with that from her hard work. So coached a lot of kids, but she definitely, I will tell you, will always be at the top of my list because she is a class act and high integrity and just a wonderful person.
You take a look at Notre Dame with what they have, and there's a lot of people, give Enrique her love, and the two frontliners, but talk a little bit about Jackie Young and what she brings to the table.
Yeah, she's the one that wins them championships. I just think her development over time, her power, her ability to score the ball now so many ways, and she has a nose for the ball. She's a great defender. She can run in transition. She can hit a pull-up. She's shooting threes. I know she doesn't shoot threes a lot, but when she shoots them, she makes them. We cannot keep her off the boards. They post her. That's one of the most powerful, strongest girls I've played against in my career, and she's very efficient, very efficient and very unselfish too. And I think that's what makes them click. You have Mabry, who obviously needs to get her shots and her threes, and that's kind of her game. And Enrique's a high volume shooter. Got your bigs inside that play together very well, and so those guys kind of have a dynamic duo. Obviously, they share it. She's playing the point position, which isn't really probably her natural position, but she does it for the team. So when I look at her, I see a kid that's continued to improve, who's willing to do whatever it takes for her team, whether it be point guard, 3-man, 4-man. She's very, very impressive. And going into the game, as hard as Enrique is to guard and the power inside, she was the one we worried the most about because she just is very, very strong. I don't know. She's just impressive and can control her body. We kept saying we're going to take charges on her. We're going to take charges on her. About 4 of my girls had her coming at them, and they were like, they kind of turned sideways. I was about to be mad at them, but I was like, I probably would have made that same choice too. So, that's a pretty strong girl coming at you.
Brian Calloway, Lansing State Journal. Susie, can you talk a little bit about touch on this a little bit, but what Sid did this weekend, maybe how that could spark her, going forward?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope she realizes, part of her issues this year was she got hurt. She was out quite a bit with that Achilles tendonitis. She tried to come back. She tried to hobble around through that. We shut her down. We brought her back. I mean, she really never was in the best shape all year. And then towards the end, she ended up kind of getting through some of the Achilles issues and, was able to kind of build a little bit better base. But yeah, she was very instrumental for us. I think, she has a lot of talent and a lot of skill, and, just to get her in the gym and to get her to commit a little bit like Jenna. She's commit to her body, like how she fuels her body, how she takes care of her fitness level. I know we talked about trying to work with, we have someone that can work with the way she runs a little bit, her gait, and make sure that that's a healthy way in which she can get up and down the floor and just work on her agility and those kind of things. But, she's very talented, as you know. She can shoot the three, she can get to the rim, and she can certainly score the ball. And it was really good to see her put these games back to back, for us. We definitely needed her in that Central Michigan game, and certainly see her be able to do that against these guys was fun. I mean, the future looks bright. I thought her and Kayla would make a great, kept thinking, wow, how fun are they going to be to watch together, next year if they could play together.
You kind of touched on that, Kayla and both Tori, obviously players that are hindered by some injuries at times, but just to kind of see them and get some experience out here, I guess a team like Notre Dame, just take me through those two as well.
Yeah, well, we knew we were going to play Kayla a little more in this game because of their size and power, and we felt like, she could handle that. She'd been playing well. Tori, we wanted to play Tori. Her problem has been, she's just coming off another injury, and she was never really in the best shape. And I think the last week or so, you could almost see her start to propel and get her lungs under her, and you could see she could get up and down the floor. She was hitting her shots, so we felt good about, trying to get her involved here. And she did a great job. I mean, she took 2 charges, she got some rebounds, she hit some shots, she took it to the rim. So her future's bright as well. I mean, it's difficult. Both Sydney and Kayla, or Sydney and Tori had tough, situations. One, mono, then you come back, then you have a foot, you're out. That was tough. Same thing with Sid. She was kind of moving right in the right direction. Then she had this Achilles thing. Then we kind of brought her back too soon, I think. Had more issues, had to shut her back down. And those are hard seasons when you're in and out like that. But to their credit, I thought they stayed the course. And when you look at Kayla, she was out all of November and most of December. So I think if I could have had Kayla healthy in those early games where you can beat people, you're up by 15, 20, you're just getting your rotations in, maybe it's a lesser opponent. I think what you saw tonight, she probably could have been more consistent throughout the year for us and been part of our rotation that way.
Coach, George Bashir, Shakedown at Thunder Sports. Out of every loss, there's a win. What can you take from tonight's game back to Michigan State and improve on for next year?
Well, what I can take is that we only have 1 senior, which is positive, and so a lot of these kids will be back. I think what we can take is that, we ran into a really good team in Notre Dame that had tremendous senior leadership, and also I think you can take from it, all those kids got better every year they were here. They were very committed to their game and being the best they could be. And I think if every kid on my team has that same mentality, like what Jenna did, from the way she carried her diet to getting in the gym to shooting the ball to being in the weight room, I mean, you could, in 6 months, you can see 2 years of success if you just really grind it out for 6 months. And so I hope that's the message that, when things settle down a little bit and the dust settles a little bit, people can kind of see there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And if I saw that example and you see it here at Notre Dame, we're not that far from where we need to be.
Any more questions?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.